Hey guys, the sun's shining. It's a great day. Happy Wednesday, and excited to just start the day and all that's in it. So each day is a new day, and that's the great thing that God has given us is we wake to health and wellness, and we get to try again. So if your day was yesterday not so hot, just kind of like close your mind off and just say, today's a new day and I will rejoice and be glad in it. And you will notice things that you're excited about, that you're thankful for. A spirit of gratitude in your heart can change your mindset and your attitude. So if you are thinking positive and you are dwelling on the great things that are happening, or even just the blessings in your life, like waking to a new day, getting to go to your job, to change the mental mind script of I got to I get to. When I started saying I get to do things, I'm blessed to do that. If you think, oh, I got to do that, the attitude and the posture of the heart is one of defeat already. It's like death. So a positive attitude and a heart of thankfulness will do a lot for your mental mindset. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so my message this morning is on starting over. Sarah Jake Roberts, once again, I posted it on my Facebook page, and Sarah talks about starting over, and that whether it be in a relationship, a job, just anything that you are beginning new. And the word that she talked about was, it's like rebuilding a house. If you're doing remodeling, or you're building a house from the start, remodeling, of course, is a lot of work. It's easier, really, sometimes to just start fresh. But in life, maybe not. In life, when we start over, God has given us all of the wisdom and knowledge from our past experiences, our past relationships, so that we can begin a new life, a new start to whatever, and we have all of that wisdom and knowledge from the past, and the successes as well as the failures. And so starting over is not like starting new. So it's really, God has given you the ability to have you have educational knowledge, so it's not like there's unknown, and so that's a plus. That's a good thing. She also talked about how sometimes in starting over, like, we pray to God for what he wants to end, like, help me keep this, help me do this, help me do that. And we're praying to God, and he's really trying to just get that out of your life. And so that was a thought. Also, multiplication, starting new and starting over is an opportunity for you to do things different, for you to break generational curses. It starts with you. Maybe you have in your life a codependency. Maybe you have, and that means not being able to say no, being a caretaker all the time, putting everybody before yourself. And God does call you to serve others, guys. He does want us to love our neighbor as ourselves, but he never did not want you to take care of you. So you don't want to have the selfish mentality of me. Loving others and loving others well is good, but you can't just become a sacrificial lamb to where you are not functioning healthy and whole. in order to serve others. And so I think as Christians, we sometimes think that we're being selfish, or we've been brought up with the mindset, or even told, you're so selfish. And it's not selfish to take care of you, especially if it's not hurting anyone. To take care of you is a priority. It's about healthy boundaries. It's about being whole, and it's a necessity, actually. And so please do that. Start considering yourself as a priority, as well as other people in your life. So just don't neglect you. And as mothers and women, we tend to do that. We do that in relationships. We do that with our children. And, we feel so badly about doing anything for ourselves. I remember when I wouldn't go buy myself an expensive pair of shoes, because I would think of all of the different pairs that I could buy my son, because he loves shoes. And so I was putting him before me. That wasn't wrong, but it wasn't wrong for me to have a pair of shoes. Okay. And so, that's maybe a little silly example, or a very small example, but guys, we need to take care of ourselves. You need to be healthy and whole, to be able to show, future generations that health, whole, and wellness, so that they won't go through some of the things that you've gone through, so that you can stop that torch being passed in a negative way, but that you can pass the torch of being an overcomer and moving from dysfunction to functional, from unhealthy to healthy. And so that is up to you, and that's up to you getting the help that you need in order to do that. And so we have a lot attached to our name, guys, and starting over. So starting over, if you've had a relationship end, or you've had a family member you no longer see for whatever reasons, or you have a new job, or you have to move away and it's not really what you want, God is in your story, guys. And the thing that I always tell my kids at Chandler Academy, and that I just told yesterday to one of my students at Tiger Morton, is that this is an opportunity for growth. Okay. So I have kids in both locations that have, for whatever reasons, been put in an alternative placement setting. At one place, it's just maybe truancy. At another place, it could be that they committed a crime. But regardless, whatever is happening in their story, I help them to reflect and say, this is an opportunity for change. And guys, anytime something happens in your life, it's an opportunity for change. It's an opportunity for growth. You can look at it and say, oh my gosh, look what is happening to me. Or you can look at it and say, yeah, look what's happening to me. So I get the opportunity to change what wasn't working. I get the opportunity to do it different. When you do it different and it wasn't working before, most likely the differences that you are making and the changes that you are making are setting you up for transformation. God is in it, in everything. You just got to bring it to him and take it to him and ask him, what are you teaching me? And so we can doom and gloom it, or we can accept where we are, take inventory, and say, okay, I'm starting over. And this is a positive thing, because if whatever ended, okay, if whatever didn't work out for you, it wasn't good for you, it wasn't meant for you. And especially if you were depressed about it, you can just say, maybe it could have been meant for you, but you weren't ready for it mentally. Maybe you need to grow on the inside of you, to learn some different things and to change some behaviors, and like to get your mental mindset straight, to become positive, to look at opportunities and blessings. Maybe the time that was taken from you can be a time that you reflect and mature and grow and know. But no matter what, in this process, guys, be still and know. Be still and know that God is God. And He, you just have to sometimes just reflect and be quiet. There's a time to talk, and there's a time to let truth be known. But there's also a season that you just sit back and you listen and you learn. And then when the time is right, you make things known. You step up. You take control. You do what you need to do. But always check that out with God. It's a fine line. It's called discernment. And we don't always do it right as humans. We have to take it to the cross daily, on the things that we do, and ask for forgiveness and redirection, and just say, God, this is the path that you have for me. Help me to get it in my mind clearly. I don't want to butcher Sarah's things, her messages, because they are really good. But I did take some notes, and I would like to share a few things. One, because I am a business owner, she talked about rebranding. She talked about brand revitalization. And so the thing about brand revitalization is a strategic process of improving a product, correcting measures that have been on the decline. We can look at ourselves as being, maybe we need to be a brand revitalized. Maybe the old you wasn't so great. Like, you had some good parts, but you had some parts that needed some work. And so the brand revitalization she talked about is just taking you and becoming a new you, a better you, a stronger you, one that is planted firmly. She referenced an anchor that is planted, and no matter what storm is coming around you, you are anchored to the ground, and you will not be movable or shakeable if you build this strength, and you build it in God's strength. So that was really good analogy there. Let's see what else I circled here. It's so much good in that message that, let's see. Sorry. Go into the sacred mode. That's what she calls as being still and know. Is in the sacred mode. You listen to God. And let's see, transforming. She talked about God seeing it coming together in the undoing. That, we look at it as crumbling walls down. But God sees it because He knows and gone ahead of you. He looks at it and says, in the undoing, it's coming together. And so, guys, when you are faced in opposition, when you are faced in things that you just feel like everything is crashing down around me, okay? Things have to crash down around you. If they're not built on solid ground, if they're not built and rooted in Him, and in order for those walls to be rebuilt, they have to come down. And especially if you have believed the lies of the enemy, okay? It's hard. It's a process. Transformation is a hard process, because the walls have to crumble down, all of them. And one by one, you have to rebuild. And, when you do that, the wall will be strong, and it will be less likely to be able to be penetrated and fallen. But the process of rebuilding is difficult because you have to accept and you have to work hard on what caused the walls to fall. And so that's a realization and a truth that you have to know in your heart, and you have to passionately pursue health. You have to passionately pursue the foundation being firm and built on God and not the lies of the enemy. So, but you can do it. I'm here to tell you, rebuilt walls, new beginnings are great. But you got to look at it that way, and you got to not let the enemy steal one more day of your joy. You got to say, Jesus, help me. Help me rebuild these walls. Help me to renew my mind. Help me to think positive, be positive, and spread light. Help me be that light in the world that you asked me to be. But guys, you got to get out of the dark. In the darkness lies lies. If you are in the dark and you're doing dark things and you're believing dark and you just want to die, that means, that means you got a lot to work on. We do mourn, Christians, believers, followers, disciples. I mean, Jesus wept. He was sad. He experienced that. But, he knew the plans of the Father. He even asked God to take this from him. But he knew that the ultimate sacrifice had to happen for humanity and to get victory and deliverance. And so deliverance is there waiting for you guys. Reach out. Do it different. Take it to the feet of Jesus. Get real. Get with him. And hope you have a great day. Thanks.